Okay. I know this total sidebar. If I ended up laminating your portraits, then I'm going to give you the opportunity to take them home today. But if you're totally game with me putting on display like Macy's, then I shall do that. Now, what we're going to accomplish today is pretty much making the cast shadows. Some people think, I don't need any help. But so far, there's been a handful of people that have gone off and done more parallel lines. You're not wanting any of these lines to look the same. So for our class, here we go. You're going to find a spot on your horizon line. The horizon line is the line that separates the ground from the sky. And you're going to figure out, okay, where do I want that guy to be? I tend to not want to go smack dead middle. I like to go off to the side. I'm going to end up going to the right of this tree.
Be quiet, Mr. Bed.
Alright, you ready? So, I have a piece of tape now in between the sky and the ground. I'm going to make a dot. And if you remember from last year, whether you had Mr. Benner or myself, you're going to, from that dot, put your pencil on the dot, and you're going to line it up to the corners. So I'm going to go to this corner of this tree, draw a line. Put my pencil back on the dot. Now I'm going to go to the other corner of this tree. So that's my shadow for this tree. Now, the angle is going to completely change. I'm going to go to the one on the left of the vanishing point, go back to the vanishing point, line up my ruler to the other corner of this tree, and draw. So it should, all the lines should kind of be like an ice cream cone. It's really thick and at the end it gets thin. Now if it's off to the side, like this one that's off to this left here, the shadow is not going to be as big as if it was close underneath. So let me show you a couple examples of ones that have been finished out. Alright, so for this guy, had the vanishing point off to this side, you'll notice that the two shadows for these guys being close to it, the shadows are wider, whereas these guys are further out, so it goes thin, thin. After you end up doing, like I demonstrated, and you have this all penciled off, and you think, oh my gosh, I'm good to go, then you're going to come up, and then I'll say yay or nay. If I'm like yay, then you're going to grab the paintbrush. So then here's what you're going to do with these new paintbrushes. You're going to do this dry. So you're not going to pre-wet these sections. You're going to get your brush loaded with paint, and then you're going to just start filling in the space. If you want to go extremely slow, this is pretty much like you're loading up right against the horizon like they did the other day. Slow right against the edge. This should not take the entire class. This is like the simplest of all the steps, but a couple people will rush through it, and then it kind of does a botch job on your work. So go slow, make this perfect. Once you have it all done, you're done with what you have to have accomplished today. If you had to rework the ground, you cannot do this today. Okay? Now, going back to doing lines, the ones that I've noticed that are kind of messing up are doing this, where you're laying the brush against your hand. You're not going to be doing that because when you do that, like you're using a pen or pencil, then you're going to be applying too many bristles to the paper, and then it's going to make a thick line. What you're wanting to do is get your brush off your hand and have it more upright. It's supposed to be a little awkward. So the same thing applied. As soon as you feel that the brush is touching the paper, it's going to be a lot thinner. Now this brush, less bristles than the thicker one, so if you want to practice with this, you can. We're actually going to be using an even thinner brush when we get to the final. But if you end up practicing out with thicker or the medium, which is today's brush, it's going to benefit you, because then once we get around to using the thin brush, it's going to be just that much easier to be able to make your trees. If you take this serious and you get a lot of these done, you can even, you don't have to give my permission, you can get on your Chromebook, look up profiles of trees that you like, and then try to copy and paste them onto paper. Remember, the paper is underneath the American flag. Okay, we're good to go. Dial in.